Hello guys. Today we are going to build a simple workflow or graph using LangGraph. Okay. So here we can see we will implement a simple workflow using the LangGraph. Okay. This workflow models a morning routine and demonstrate how nodes, age and state and conditional logic work together in a graph. Okay, so here understand the workflow. Our workflow look like this one: start morning and decision like coffee or jog, and coffee or jog node. Okay, decision, and this is the node and this is the end. Okay, so here we can see component nodes represent task. Okay, so this is the Python function age. Define the flow between the nodes, and conditionally decide which path to take based on the condition. Okay, like coffee or jogging or coffee. Okay, so here you can see state hold the information that flow between the nodes. Okay, it hold the information that flow between the nodes. And a state graph represent the structure of the entire graph. Okay, so here first define the state of the graph. Okay, and state schema serve as the input schema for all the node and edges in the graph. So here I'm going to use PyDict class from Python. Python typing module, like PyDict the Python typing module as our schema, so which provide type hint for the keys. Okay, so we are going to use typedict here, and this is the class for state, and here inside this I am going to pass PyDict. Okay, that would be type handle for keys, and routine information equals to a string. Okay, like if you have in routine information, that should be in string. Okay, so here this is the class for state. So here we are going to define the state. Okay, so state is a hold the information that sorry hold the information that flow between nodes. Okay, so that's why we are going to create a state class. So typedict allows us to define a dictionary with a specific key and type, which help in type checking and structuring our state. Okay, so here nodes, here now I'm going to define nodes. So nodes are Python function where the first argument is the state. Okay, so here I'm going to define nodes. So here I need to create function define start morning. Okay, so here start morning. Okay, here I'm going to provide argument state colon this one. Okay, because it holds the information. You can see here state hold the information that flow between nodes. Okay, that's why we need to pass it in node. Okay, and after this I need to put colon. I can reduce this space, and after this we need to print so here we need to print start morning routine node. Here in bracket start morning routine node has been called. Now after this I need to return here in dictionary form. I'm going to routine info, this one. I'm going to take here routine information. Okay, after this I need to put the columns, and here state equals to routine information plus and quotes walk up. Okay, so I'm going to return these things. Okay, so here you can see return routine info. This is the key, and this is the state, this is for value and this is the workup. I need to run this. Okay, so, I'm going to create another function which is a define. What we are going to define, so we need to define coffee, and here I'm going to also define state colon capital STAT state colon. Here I'm going to print inside this. Oh, inside this I need to write what coffee node. Let's say coffee node has been called. Okay, now I need to return. Here this one I need to copy this. Return routine info, and here state routine info, and here instead of workup I need to write and drunk coffee. Okay, now again I need to define another function which called a jog, so that you need to go on jogging or you can take coffee. So here I need to write jog, and here jog node has been called. Okay, routine info, this is the same, and here I need to change what I'm going to change. Went for jog. Okay, went for jog, and after this, okay, now here after this I'm going to import random. Okay, that we can import random number from this library. Here I'm going to import from okay, we can see here we have different from types from typing. Okay, from typing I'm going to import literal. Okay, and after this this is the conditional function. Okay, I'm going to define conditional function. Okay, so here from typing import literal, and I need to define function define morning choice, choice. Here I need to pass state in small, now as capital STAT state. Here I need to write comma, sorry, not comma, it's semicolon. No, I don't need semicolon. I need this, and output in should be in literal. And here I'm going to pass copy, not copy, coffee, comma coffee, comma jog, jog. Here after this I need to put colons, and here if if random dot random mm, random is greater than zero point 0.5, like if random number is greater than zero point 0.5, uh, then return coffee. Mm, else return jog. This is also an string. Jog copy. Okay, I need to run this. Nav state is not defined. Okay. Okay, I need to rerun from here. This is the state. Define the state class. Okay, these are the nodes, and here I'm okay. So now error has been resolved, and after that we need to construct a graph. Okay, graph construction with the LangGraph. So we build a graph workflow using the component defined earlier. The state graph class is the main graph class that will use to create and manage the workflow. Step for graph construction: initialize the graph. Okay, we start by creating instance of the state graph. Okay, so we uh, initialize the graph by using this one state graph class. Then state class, which will define earlier, it pass as the schema to define the structure of the graph. Okay, so we are going to pass state class as a schema. So add nodes and edges. After that we need to add nodes and edges. Node are Python function that perform a specific task. Edges connect the node and define the flow of the execution, and condition edge can be used to create a branching logic along different path based on the certain condition. Okay, so here we also have special nodes. Start nodes, a special node that act as the entry point of the graph. Okay, it send the initial input or state into the graph. And end nodes, special node, represent the termination of the workflow. When the execution reach this node to the workflow, I mean the workflow the end. So compiling the graph perform the basic check to ensure there are no structure issues such as the connected node or individual edges. This step ensure the workflow is ready for execution. After this, visualize the graph. After the graph is constructed, it can be visualized as a Marmot diagram to clearly see the workflow structure and flow between the nodes. So here I need to install pip install LangGraph, and now after this I need to create graph. Okay, so here I need to import these things. From langgraph.graph import state graph, start and end. And from python.display import image and display. Okay, so that will we will create an image of this graph. Okay, so here I'm going to build graph. Here this is the state graph. What is the state graph? Here I already we start by creating a state. So here you can see these are the import libraries: state graph, start and an image and display, that we can display images by using ipython dot display library. And from langgraph.graph we import state graph and start and end. Okay, so here you can see state graph. Okay, so we start by creating instant of the state graph. So state graph is an instant of graph. Okay, state class, which earlier we defined, it pass as the schema to define the structure of the graph state. Okay, so here So we are going to okay, control V, control Z. Okay, so graph equals to state graph. Okay, and here I'm going to add nodes. Okay, so our nodes is graph dot add start morning. Okay, and graph dot add another node coffee or coffee. Okay, and graph dot add node so job. Okay, so here you can we can schedule ages. So graph dot ages start. This is the special nodes here. Okay, so start node, this is the special node that is the entry point of the graph. Okay, so this is the entry point of the graph, and it send the initial input or start into the graph. Okay, and here graph dot add conditional age start morning. Okay, here I'm going to put here a morning choice. Okay, and after this graph dot age graph dot age add ages. Okay, so here I'm going to pass copy and end. Okay, here graph dot age is job and end. Okay, so we are going to end this because it's a special node. Here you can see a special node represent the termination of the workflow. Okay, the execution reach this node, the workflow end. Here we are going to compile and visualize the graph. So graph dot builder equals to, so uh, here I need to paste it in below of this code. I need to run this. Name morning choice is not defined. Okay. Morning, MORNING, morning. Okay, so here I need to correct my spelling. Now rerun this. Okay, rerun this. Okay, now I can. Okay, so here we can control X. Okay, now this is our morning graph. Okay, start. Okay, start morning. So yeah, like it will decide by conditional age, coffee or jogging. Okay, and if coffee then end, and if morning, if jog then end. Okay, we already added this age is coffee, and graph add age is jog end. Okay, so here after this I need to write here execute graph builder dot invoke morning routine vegan. So here start morning routine node has been called, coffee node has been called. Okay, so routine information morning routine become and woke up drunk coffee. Okay, and after what happened here start morning first node. Okay, start morning is our first node, record woke up, and conditional node decide between coffee or jog. So you want to take coffee or you want to go for jog. Okay, each node update routine information in the state, and graph execute and ends at the end node. You can visualize the workflow as the marmot diagram. Okay, so here this one, you can start in the morning, and here you need to decide you want to take coffee, and if you want to go take coffee then end, if you want to go and jog then it will end. Okay, so here you can see. Okay, these are the node for start morning coffee and jog, and this is the ages. Okay, for start morning, and this is the conditional morning that you will decide to take coffee or you will go for jog or jogging. Okay, and coffee, if you want to take coffee, and then if you I mean if you like to take coffee then it will end. Otherwise if you want to go jog then it will also end. and after this will provide you image in Marmot PNG file. Okay, and after this graph builder dot invoke. So here graph invocation. So here graph builder dot invoke routine info. Hey, my name is Nidhi. So I'm right. Start morning routine node has been called. Jog has been called. My name is Nidhi and wake up and went for jog. Okay. So I think guys you got it. So I'm also giving you overview again. So here we build a simple workflow for lang by using LangGraph. Okay. So here you can see understanding workflow. Like we need, I mean, we are going to start morning, so we need to start morning. So after that we need to take decision like coffee or jog. If you want to go coffee, then it will end. Otherwise, if you want to go on jog, then it will end. So here we are going to create nodes, and then it will after nodes we are going to create edges, and then we need to end here. Okay, so node represent the Python function edges. So edges define the flow between the nodes. Conditionally decide which path to take based on the condition, and state hold the information that flow between the node. And graph state graph represent the structure of the entire graph. Okay, define the state. Okay, so here I'm going to define state. Here I'm going to pass type dict that type dict allow us to define dictionary. Okay, so we are going to define dictionary. Okay, and with the specific key and types which help in the type checking and structure our state. Okay, here nodes, I'm going to create nodes. So um, we need to start our morning. This is the first node, and we want to take coffee, or we want to go for jogging. Okay, so these are our nodes. Okay, and this is the conditional function. Here import random, here import literal. Define morning choice. If random function, if it is greater than 0.5, then it return coffee, otherwise it return jog. Okay, and here we are going to create a graph. Okay, so here we need to initialize the graph, add the nodes and edges, special node, start and end node, and compile the graph, visualize the graph. Okay, so here you can see we are going to build the graph. Okay, this is the we are going to initialize the graph here. We are going to add nodes here. We are going to create edges here. Okay, by using I'm also use here uh, special nodes and starts. Okay, after that we are going to visualize our graph. Okay, like it will start morning. If you want to take coffee, then it will end. If you want to jog, then it will end. Okay, and now we need to invoke this one. So start morning routine has been called, and this one and routine information morning routine we can woke up drunk. Okay, so I'm already saying we start morning. First node, this is our first node. Conditional door node between coffee or job. So decide by mm, by creating nodes. Okay, and each node update routine information in the state graph execute, and at the end node you can visualize the workflow as a Marmot diagram. Okay guys, if you like my video, I hope you like my video. If you have any doubt, please do comment. Bye bye.